Hey y'all, and we're back. And guess what? We back with another reaction, y'all. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Yes. Now this is now look, we're gonna talk about what's going on here. Y'all know the place Chick-Fil-A. You heard of Chick-Fil-A. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna give this off yet. I'm gonna go ahead on and play it first. Now, you got three cops. They walk into Chick-fil-A. Hmm. They hungry together. They all together. But something happened. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to this. And then I gotta slap my reaction on them, okay? All right.
It's kind of humiliated and embarrassed. I felt like it was a racial thing and humiliated and embarrassed. I felt like it was a racial thing and I felt like he was singled out.
Only on 9 claims of racial discrimination at a Chick-fil-A. A Clover police officer said that he had to pay for his meal, but that his 3 white colleagues did not.
Their claims did garner an apology from the owner of the Augusta restaurant where this happened. Our South Carolina reporter Tina Terry spoke to officers about their experience.
I was kind of humiliated and embarrassed, at the whole situation because it seemed like it was a racial issue to me.
Clover Police Sergeant Tracy Reed had that experience at a Chick-fil-A restaurant in Augusta, Georgia, while on a work trip a few weeks ago. He and 3 other CPD officers, all of them white, went into the restaurant for breakfast.
We all came into the restaurant together, we rode together, came in the restaurant together, all had the same uniform on, stood in line.
No excuse. They came, all of those officers came into that building together. All of them came in there together, wearing their uniform. Officers. And you number one out. And you know you weren't going to get away with that.
Together. There was never a time that we were not together while
See?
standing in line.
They say all 3 white officers were offered a complimentary meal, which they say is often offered to law enforcement at the popular restaurant chain. But when Sergeant Reed got to the register, he had to pay.
What?
He had to pay for his meal, and it infuriated me. And I told him, I said, "You want me to go say something?" And he was like, "No, I don't want you to."
Way to go, buddy. Standing up for your friend.
But I could tell by the way he looked that he just looked down at his plate and he looked really embarrassed and humiliated, which really made me mad.
Eventually,
I like you.
This letter to Chick-fil-A corporate demanding the chain retrain employees at the Augusta location and strengthen corporate-wide policies on compliance with civil rights laws. But Reed and the other officers were not satisfied with the response from the Augusta store manager.
That's right.
Which included 2 cards for free meals.
They said that it was perceived that we were embarrassed or that it was a racial incident, which I didn't like because I know it wasn't perceived. It actually happened.
He's not the only one who perceived it. We all perceived it that way.
There you go.
It's what happened. It was a racial issue.
That letter from the store manager.
And you know what I like about that? They stuck by each other.
The Clover, South Carolina Police Department stopped at this Chick-fil-A on Robert C. Daniel Jr. Parkway for breakfast. One officer who's black says that his 3 white colleagues were given their meals for free, but he was asked to pay. Now he's speaking out.
When we arrived at the place, we went inside. There was only 4 people in line. It was myself and 3 other white sergeants. We were all sergeants. We were all dressed the same. We all got in the same line, and we all ordered one to place my order.
Sergeant Tracy Reed says he and his fellow officers were on their way to Cordell, Georgia to pick up several police vehicles when they stopped in Augusta to eat. He tells me the other officers had their orders taken by the cashier who was training someone. When it was his turn, someone else stepped in.
When I came up, the team leader came to the register. When he came to the register, he took my order and I paid. I had to pay for my food. He told me, the bill, and I didn't say anything about is my food free or why I didn't get mine free because we cannot ask for gratuities.
Sergeant Reed says he was upset and embarrassed by what he believes was blatant racism. He tells me he wasn't the only one who noticed the alleged slight.
When I came back to the table, the rest of the sergeants were very disturbed as I was disturbed. I was almost in a rage.
Sergeant Reed wrote a letter to Chick-fil-A's corporate office about the matter, and a few They told me that the employee doesn't normally work at the cash registers and was trying to help. They claim he wasn't aware of the policy regarding discounts for first responders. Chick-fil-A sent us the following statement from Hannah. We regret the unintentional impact this incident had and sincerely apologize to our guest. We were deeply concerned.
People, keep your eyes open and stay focused. If this happened to a police officer, what could happen to anyone else? What else? What else can happen? What else can happen out of this? And it's always an apology and an unintentional impact. It always that. It always a new person at the register. It always that. Now Chick-fil-A, that register person allegedly doing her training or doing his training, among others, allegedly was told to do that. Even if they're not a registered person, even if they're a cooker, they would have asked, do I supposed to charge the officers? Pay attention what's going on and be aware of what's going on. This shouldn't have happened, y'all. This shouldn't have happened. All of those cops came in there together. Chick-fil-A don't usually act like this. Chick-fil-A usually be so kind and nice, and they know that they don't charge officers. We know that. Y'all know that. Even in Quick Trip, they can come in and get certain stuff. Y'all know that. We know that. But what happened at Chick-fil-A? What happened at Chick-fil-A wasn't necessary. Even if the excuse is the cashier was training someone, the first thing you should have said, since you're the trainee, you should have said, since you're the person who trained her, you should have said, you don't charge if you're training that person at the time. And they knew at the register you're supposed to be beside them and tell them, no, you don't charge officers. So this is what you're supposed to do, da 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 da. Something ain't right about that, y'all. Something not right about that. But I would say, put down in the comment what you think about it. What you think should have happened. He came to the register. They know what was going on, y'all. They know how they was trained. When he came up, they didn't charge the rest of them. But when he walked up, they charged him. Somebody behind that, y'all. Cause listen to how he said it happened.
Came up, the team leader came to the register.
See, you got he said when he came up, somebody else, listen to this. See, the person was training someone. She didn't charge nobody else, or he didn't charge nobody else nothing. But soon as the officer, this particular officer, come up, you gonna charge him, but you didn't charge the other officers. He's a chief just like everybody else. He dressed just like everyone else. Why did that happen? It couldn't have been the first time.
It was his turn. Someone else stepped in.
When I came up, the team leader came to the register. When he came to the register, he took my order and I paid. I had to pay for my food. He told me, the bill, and I didn't say anything about is my food free or why I didn't get mine free because we cannot ask for gratuities.
Sergeant Reed says he was upset and embarrassed by what he believes was blatant racism.
Of course he was embarrassed. Of course he was upset. This is still going on. It's not going to change, y'all. Tell me what you think in the comment section, like, share, and subscribe.